Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views and the Alberta Report podcast on YouTube. There is no doubt in my mind that if Donald J. Trump had the cure for cancer, all of these Democrats and these liberal NDPers up in Canada would not take it just based on the principle that Donald Trump has it. Their mind virus just would not let them do it. It would override their common sense. I am talking about Tylenol and this acetaminophen, this trend, this dangerous trend that is going on across the United States and Canada. It is unreal. I have lots to go over, and it's crazy news. So bear with me. From Health Canada. Yes, Health Canada is saying this. Hashtag advisory. Acetaminophen is a recommended treatment for fever and pain during pregnancy. Seriously, they are saying this right now. So Mark Carnage Media Corp is pushing the message. No evidence linking acetaminophen to autism, says Health Canada in rebuke to Trump. That is what this is about. Orange man bad. Trump derangement syndrome. This is very, very dangerous because people have the internet, so they can actually fact check it. There is a mountain of evidence spanning over the years of potential risk of use of acetaminophen during pregnancy and the risk of autism spectrum disorder in the offspring. From 2016, I think the earliest I found was 16, maybe 14. There is lots prenatal and postnatal exposure to acetaminophen in relation to autism spectrum and attention deficit and hyperactivity symptoms in childhood. You'd think that if you were a health organization, you might want to do a bit of research and see if there actually is a risk. So what did Tylenol have to say about this? On Twitter, you can find posts from them from 2016 up to 2019. In 2016, September 8th, Tylenol actually said, if you are pregnant/nursing, seek the advice of your healthcare professional before using Tylenol or any other medication. This is what Health Canada should be saying right now. Thanks for the shout out, Carrie. Just make sure to talk to your doctor before taking Tylenol while you are pregnant. They know that there is a risk. March 7th, 2017. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today. This is a stark contrast to what Health Canada is saying right now. 4 years ago, CBC aired a story warning Canadians about Tylenol and pregnancy. You can't make this up.
As if pregnancy weren't complicated enough, researchers are now cautioning acetaminophen, including Tylenol, might affect fetal development.
I found in my second trimester that I was in pain.
Priyanka.
I'm going to leave it there. So there is a trend where nursing mothers are taking Tylenol just to push back against what Donald Trump is saying. But even erase Donald Trump. Tylenol is saying themselves. 28 weeks pregnant. This lady says, I'm 28 weeks pregnant. You know what? I'm going to take some Tylenol with acetaminophen in it. And my baby won't have autism. That's a quote. This is Michelle Vu, MD. She does fertility medicine in New York, according to this. It's insanity to me that people would put their baby at risk.
28 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm gonna take? Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's gonna work like a charm, and my baby won't have autism.
Oh, you're so strong. You're so virtuous. Oh, you show him. You show him. That poor, poor baby. It is unreal. You know what? This might be abuse. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying. And there's lots of videos just like that. Now, if you do a little bit of research with who is running Health Canada, it gets even worse. But I'm not going down that rabbit hole because I got a lot more. The Ostrich Farm. From D. Cameron. The battle is far from over, my friends. The CFIA remains in charge of the ostriches, and no one else is allowed in the pens. The RCMP, with their hazmat suits on, have just took down cameras and ended the live stream. This is very disturbing news. There was a suspicious fire by the hay bales, so the RCMP have gained control of the property as well. There is a court order of a stay. First Nations has stepped in and told the RCMP that the Ostrich Farm is on unceded territory and the birds can't be touched. And what's crazy is right after they did that, the court order came in.
And not going to be out there suffering. So I'd like to try and discuss a few.
An Indian tribe just said that this is unceded territory and these birds are not to be touched. Wow.
There are many layers to this story, okay? I'm just going to spread some hearsay rumors a little bit here. Canada signed on to the World Health Organization Pact. And in the World Health Organization, I believe it says you have to cull all birds after a certain age. So that's one thing, is Canada has to do this to flex and say, yes, we're part of the gang. Another thing I heard, ostriches have a crazy immune system and they can build antibodies. They want to get rid of these ostriches because they don't want people to know that ostriches can build natural immunity, natural antibodies immunity to the bird flu. Or another thing I heard down the pipe is they don't want people to extract. They want to get rid of it. Same thing with the antibodies and the immunity. They don't want the world to know that these birds may have been sick. It was a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy what's going on. It's been an absolute roller coaster ride with this ostrich, this ostrich farm. So this is the CBC today. They're saying, we don't know, and assumptions doesn't sound very scientific. Testing is a rather rational stance to take, and we all know how these tests work. We all went through COVID. Quote, so we don't actually really know if they do have protected immunity. If they had been infected before, we just have to assume that they could have been infected and they may still be infected. So we should probably just kill them all. That way of thinking is absolutely ridiculous, especially from a virologist. Listen to this.
Avian flu outbreaks with what's called the stamping out policy, or mandatory depopulation of flocks that have been infected. So this is really both scientifically and legally, I think, the right thing to do to reduce the risk as much as we can.
There is no risk. There is no risk. There is zero risk. These birds have been healthy for a very long time now. There is no risk to the public. They are in a farm. They're on a farm, like in the middle of nowhere. There's not even a huge population. That is what is very, very strange about this. Why? Always ask why. From Bruce McGonigal. He says, so let me get this straight. The bird flu is in Ontario, and their most populous city, Toronto, has chickens. Ontario Public Health is telling people to protect themselves and their chickens. They're not culling them off. Yet in rural BC, The Canada Food Inspection Agency wants to slaughter under 400 ostriches because of an outbreak over 260 days ago. This comes after Toronto Public Health posted this today. There are no coincidences. This is from today. Hashtag bird flu is in Ontario. If you own chickens in the city of Toronto, they might be at risk. It is very rare for humans to get sick with the bird flu, but it is possible. The point is he's saying, well, they're not killing all the chickens. There's a huge population around. It's ridiculous. Leave these ostriches alone. It's beyond ridiculous. And I can't wait to see how this pans out with the natives and that angle, because that might set a precedent for all farms across Canada, because this is a federal case. Moving on. Did you know that the cost of Ottawa's gun ban fiasco may reach $6 billion, because that's how many guns are out there. That's how long it's going to take, and it ain't going to be pretty. The minister should have resigned or been fired, and this whole bill needs to get thrown in the garbage. This lady, I don't know who she is. It doesn't say her name, but she's on CTV today. It might have been from last night. And she puts this perfectly. This whole gun bullshit is because of Quebec. Well, if that's the case for political points, then just implement it in Quebec to make them virtuous. Bam.
Okay, Larissa, let me get your take on how this is unfolded and where you think it goes.
I have so much to say about this in so little time. First, to Kathleen's point about equating this to Lisa Raitt's inappropriate comments. These aren't inappropriate comments. This is an admission that a hallmark policy of this government is flawed. It's a solution that doesn't actually even remotely address the problem of crime. And the minister is desperate for Canadians to think that everybody's wandering around with an AR-15. It could have been a drinking game, sincerely, of how many times he said AR-15. That he wants everyone to think, you know, they're everywhere. Oh my God, I'm going to be so scared. We have a crime problem. We have a bail problem. We have an illegal gun problem. We have a leaky border problem. None of this addresses that. And it's so much money spent on a policy that won't fix the actual problem. And he himself, and Dan just did it again, admitted that this is about politics in specific regions. So do a carve out in Quebec. Bring this policy out in Quebec. We do so many other carve-outs for Quebec, but don't impose it across the country. It's a waste of money. And calling for the minister's resignation, sure, he should resign, right? Like yeah. he was sloppy. He wasn't careful with his words, but really he was honest. And I think honestly, conservatives should just call for more ministers to be honest about this.
Yes, I've been saying this for years. The conservative ministers need to get in there and get dirty. Just like this ostrich farm. They should have been all over this. It's low-hanging fruit. It's low-hanging political fruit. So much ammo. And they refuse to go on to take it. It's very strange. This minister has lost the crowd. It won't stick. They need to throw it in the garbage. They lost the crowd. Nobody believes in it. And the Liberals themselves don't even believe in this thing. It's just making them look extremely incompetent globally. And I love it. You know why? Because the Conservatives are leading in the polls now. And Carney hasn't even been in there a full year. And it's all falling apart. Speaking of Quebec as well, Quebec bans gender-neutral pronouns in official state documents. Now, this is pretty much all you're going to hear about this from Mark Carnage Media Corp. When Alberta does stuff like this, though, oh my God, it's an absolute genocide. Oh, the charter rights are just getting torn up. Oh, the constitutional. Oh, we need to rewrite it. Oh, Alberta's so racist. Oh, everything. It's complete hysteria bullshit. And it's disgusting how Quebec can just do whatever they want all the time. Just like the gun buyback bullshit. Continuing on from Dr. Leslyn Lewis. 4 years ago, when I raised concerns about global plans to drastically reduce meat consumption, I was called a conspiracy theorist by liberals. Now academics are openly acknowledging that the, quote, future of food means less meat on your table. It's time for honesty. Canadians deserve clear answers. 1. What are the actual targets for reducing meat consumption? 2. How will this impact our farmers? 3. By what mechanism will this shift be enforced? Through taxes, restrictions, or subsidies? 4. How is this tied to international agreements like the United Nations Convention on Biodiversity? Or another way to put it, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Politicians and academics must have the courage to tell Canadians the truth. If there is a plan to radically change how we eat, it should not be hidden behind buzzwords like sustainability or transition. Our food, our farmers, and our way of life should not be reshaped through quiet backroom deals. Canadians deserve transparency. I absolutely agree with you, Dr. Leslyn Lewis. The food professor says he spoke with a group of graduate students and faculty today. The consensus in the room was clear after their indoctrination. They believe food companies shouldn't be allowed to make a profit, and meat consumption should be banned or at least heavily discouraged. Made for a lively debate. I doubt I changed many minds, but time well spent. It's unreal. He was at the University of Montreal discussing food security, the challenges facing farmers and the broader food industry. Our universities have become unsustainable. They're not even think tanks. They're nothing anything grand or great. Canada is spiraling. And this is just... Man, the hits just keep on coming. This is just another thing. All roads lead to Western independence, so we don't have to deal with this shit. From Ryan Garrettson. TransCanada Energy isn't waiting around for Mark Carnage Carney and his ideologically insane government anymore. They are investing $8.5 billion in the United States power projects. We will never prosper under this government. At what point will Canadians realize this is all on purpose?
Canadian pipeline operator TC Energy, one of North America's leading energy infrastructure companies, betting big on America's energy future. The company is planning to invest more than $8.5 billion in U.S. projects over the next 5 years, including the Virginia Reliability Project, a major pipeline upgrade aimed at strengthening energy security and powering growth within the Commonwealth.
Just that last line stings. It hits so hard.
Growth within the Commonwealth and power strengthening energy security and powering growth within the Commonwealth.
Strengthening energy security and growth. Something Mark Carney has been just screaming. Oh, we need to become an energy superpower. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Back in the day when the Industrial Revolution really took off, the United States set itself up to what it is right now, off of the backs of hardworking tradesmen, great people, and petroleum, oil and gas. Mark Carney wants to shift Canada into another industrial revolution. They openly talk about this green industrial revolution. He thinks that just like the United States did 100 years ago, whatever it was, he wants to do that with green energy. He openly says we're going to be broke. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be tough. He's setting up deals with the rest of the globe so they can all do it at the same time. They are creating an industry out of nothing to create a currency out of nothing. And he is betting big on this, that Canada will be a green energy superpower. And they are trying to break away from the United States and go about this on their own with their group of buddies. Australia, pieces of Europe, Britain, France, and Canada. Mark Carney is going to the UK right now to make a trade deal, talking about all this green shit. He really, truly believes that Canada's going to come on top if they do this. This whole world right now, this whole world is being, it's so manipulated by derangement syndromes of many, of various flavors and kinds, that is just clouding leaders' judgments. And it is the by the people for the people has become like at the bottom of the priority list now. It's all, everything now is all about agendas and all about money, and they will do whatever they have to just keep on pushing for those goals. And it's not working. It's not working, especially in Canada. We're second to last in GDP growth. We got trillions of dollars in household debt. It's brutal out there. You see it. We see it in our cities. We see it in our towns. We see it in the classrooms. Nothing makes sense anymore. Common sense is gone. We got pregnant women eating Tylenol when Tylenol says don't eat the Tylenol. It's unbelievable. But there's a way to break free of all this madness. I am telling you. Maybe start a libertarian party. There's the thought. Maybe break free of the system that is punishing hard work. There's another thought. Maybe elect politicians that look and sound just like you and I, that we know. Something that's built by the people, for the people. Top down, bottom up. And don't tell me that we need experts. I'm tired of that word. I don't want experts. I want experience. There's a lot of fucking experts out there right now that don't know up from down. They got a piece of paper. I'm talking about building from experience and hard work. Seriously in Canada, how do we have a housing shortage and a food shortage? Something ain't right, and it's not working. Little tidbit too. The housing data come out in the United States today. Is that today or yesterday? They're going through a housing boom right now. That might be why TC Energy is moving down south, all that investment. Because they're growing. And we are not. We are in a state of stagflation. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care of yourself.